Coronavirus has altered our lives in unimaginable ways, impacting finances, family, and the way we work. For me, it's become particularly personal. We learned this week that the first member of Congress tested positive for coronavirus. That person is Mario Diaz-Balart, my little brother. He joins us now via Skype from Washington, D.C. Mario, how are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm feeling better. I think the worst part is past. It's a tricky bug because just when I thought I was over it, or I was pretty close to getting over it, the fever will come back. But again, not as bad as it was originally, and I think hopefully the worst is past.
Talk to me about the symptoms. Do they slowly get worse, or do they come all at once?
They pretty much hit me like a ton of bricks. Saturday, I was fine. Saturday evening, I started getting this amazingly just a splitting headache, and then pretty intensive fever and a cough. Now, luckily, I have not had an issue breathing, so I've never had a scary moment, but obviously very, very unpleasant with headaches, with coughing, and with a pretty intense fever, all coming at the same time, it seemed.
Self-isolating now for 7 days. What's that been like?
Well, look, I've been busy. I've been working. I've had conversations. I've been on the phone with two members of the president's cabinet. I actually had a conversation with the president himself. Today, I was on the phone with the Appropriations Committee, with the Republican leadership. So I've been working and busy, but obviously all of that right here by myself in total isolation.
Many of your colleagues in the House and the Senate are over 65, some with pre-existing conditions. Should Congress be able to vote remotely?
We clearly have to figure out a way to do this during this very special moment. However, there are some constitutional questions that have to be answered. The last thing we need to happen is we go through this very important package and all of a sudden there's some sort of legal challenge. So again, I know that the leadership, House and Senate, bipartisan, they're looking at ways to make sure that they keep people safe and allow Congress to proceed. So we just got to make sure it's done right and it's done safely, but also that it's done constitutionally.
Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart, mi hermano pequeño, my little brother, thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.